going on, everybody? TheMrArcher here. Gonna talk some transfer news and rumors today. A lot of stuff. I mean, the great thing about having social media and apps like OneFootball and Football Flash and Sky Sports or BT Sports or all the other stuff is that you can get information right to your phone. So there's not a whole lot that I can really say or other people can say that hasn't already been known. But I got to do my part. So obviously already we've signed one player so far, Jonas Lissel, I call him Steak Man, for no particular reason other than he got peppered a whole bunch last season, which just like that's probably a good sign for us, because before Jordan Pickford came to us a few years ago, he played for Sunderland and got absolutely bombarded. That's why he's probably one of the best shot stoppers in the league right now. So hopefully when Lissel comes in, I'm assuming he's going to be the number 2, right? We're going to send Virginia out on loan, and Stecklenburg's just going to kind of hang out and mentor people, or however it works. In the last year of his contract, so I don't think that it's that big of a deal. I think it's a good signing. I mean, free agent. Got to pay him every week, decent amount of money, I'm sure. But he's a decent goalkeeper. You can't really judge too much from the team that got relegated and finished bottom of the league last season. But obviously, Brand Silver, I'm sure the goalkeeping coach, it's all part of the plan. So I think that's a good way to go about doing things. Everybody wants this next guy, right? I mean, this saga needs to come to an end. And obviously, I'm talking about, Andre Gomes. Oh, baby, we know why we want him. He's a great player, obviously great in the community, really settled in at Everton. I hope we all know that, he had some emotional and maybe mental baggage, if you want to call it that, by after his move to Barcelona, getting jeered, getting booed, getting whistled, not performing as he might have liked, being played out of position quite a bit. I just think it was too much of a step up for him. Came to Everton, took a while to get into the team, and then when he came in, we all saw his quality, especially the first time I think we really saw what he was able to do against a big team was the derby against the Shite at Anfield. Thought he controlled everything, looked like a world-class player, and continued to do so for a long time. And obviously we went through our little slump over the festive period, and I think he's one of those players, kind of like Sigurdsson, kind of like a lot of players in our team, is if the team's having a bad game, he has a bad game, and if he has a bad game, the team doesn't quite flow and function as it's supposed to. But I think we saw enough last season, and then don't get me started on the beard and the hair and everything else. I'm just saying what everyone else is saying. Gorgeous looking man. So yeah, we need to get him signed, and this is a case. Obviously, you see in the news every single day. Deal close, personal terms agreed, and all that stuff. But then 2 weeks before, it was all Everton have got to fight it out with Tottenham, and West Ham eventually stuck their noses in and trying to sign him, and this and that, and West Ham's putting bids in, and he might be tempted by the lure of London. I guess London, I guess if you want to go there and you want to live there, that's some type of accomplishment, right? But why would you want to go to West Ham? They're not any better off than us. They can only offer a former shopping center to play in the Olympics. Is it the Olympic Stadium? I think it is, yeah, right. And we all know about the crowd there and how it all works. It just looks like a big bowl of bleh at the end of the day. So why would you want to go to West Ham? And then Tottenham, I could understand why you want to go to Tottenham. You would maybe want to go to Tottenham. Obviously it's in London, brand new stadium, Champions League, great players, amazing manager, great structure. I can see all that, but after his time at Barcelona, and then the amount of playing time, the amount of love, the amount of respect, the amount of support he received at Everton, I don't see why you'd maybe want to try and risk that again. Just by saying, I had one good season, up north. I'm back to the player that I was. I'm mentally strong. I'm emotionally ready to go. So it's time to go to Tottenham. But you got players in there that are already playing that role. You've got Eric Dyer in there. Plays a little farther back, but you've got Christian Eriksen. You've got Sissoko. You've got a lot of players, and I think Gomes is just that tiny little bit below what Tottenham need right now, and I don't think he'd play. He might play 15 to 20 games, including Cup and Champions League. So it all depends what he wants. That was, like I said, that was 2 weeks ago. But now we hear that Tottenham are in for other players. West Ham had their bids rejected, and they focused on other players. Now it's just Barcelona doing what Barcelona do. The fact that they want to get rid of the player, they've told the player that he's not in their plans, and now they're haggling over 2 or 3 million because, from what we're hearing, personal terms have already been agreed and have been agreed for a while. Gomes has said he didn't want to go anywhere else but to Everton, to Barcelona, probably to Brands, probably to Silver, probably to his agent. But agents got to do what agents got to do, and they're trying to probably milk out a little extra fee for themselves. Get their chunk because we all know how destitute and lacking in funds most modern day football agents are. So he's got to try and scrimp, and he's got to put food on the table for his family. And so he can't just let the deal go through so we can move on. But I also think that the Gomes deal going through will actually be it's obviously going to be a great sign of our intent for next season, and it will just put a cap on saying, okay, well, Brands and Silva know what they're doing. They wanted him. It's all this, but but Andre, come on, if you're watching this, which you're not, but just come on. Sign the line. I know we're probably going to wait for the new kit to be revealed so you can model it, and hopefully they give you a shirt that's 2 sizes too small when you're showing it off. But that's fine. Just sign it up, dial it up. But that's enough on Senor Gomes. And the next player that we have been linked with, and a lot of teams have been linked with after he performed so well for Ajax last season. He was on the stage playing teams like Juventus, playing against teams like Tottenham. Putting a great show is David Neres, the Brazilian player. Are we linked with him? Of course we're linked with him. Do we stand a chance of signing him against other teams from all over Europe? The Scheidt are probably in for him. United are probably in for him. Does he want to leave Ajax? I don't see why he wouldn't. But, why come to Everton? The only thing I can think of is that he really, really values his friendship with Richarlison. Richarlison's probably been in his ear, just like he was a couple of weeks ago when they were, hanging out in the training room. I think he's a great player. He's, I watched him for Brazil the other night. I watched him quite a bit for Ajax. Plays on the left mostly, from what I've seen. But I think he could do a great job out on the right. Could probably play through the middle too. Could probably maybe play number 10. All depends how, if he came, we'd want to groom him. Because we've got some great players right now, don't we? We've got Richarlison can play right, center, left. We've got Bernard that can probably play left and right, maybe in behind a striker. We've got a lot of options, but I don't think we have a lot of depth. So even though it would kind of hurt to see one of Bernard or Richarlison drop, there's plenty of ways we can work around it. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, if we don't get a forward in, this is going to go off on a whole bunch of tangents, but if we could possibly getting in, a reasonable price would be, 35 million to get him in, but they're going to probably say it's closer to 60 to 70, but that's just one of those rumors that, we have to wait for after the Copa America, right? We have to wait after the Nations League. We got to wait till after the Copa America. We got to wait till after a lot of other things to see if this is coming true. But I think he'd be a great player. I can't believe that we'd actually be able to pull off a coup like that. But we've got Marcel Brands. We've got Marco Silva. We've got a lot of Portuguese speaking players at the club. A lot of people underestimate how much that matters. Just like with the Schneidlin thing, when you've got Digne, when you've got Zuma, when you've got Ghana around you, people that speak your language, you can communicate with when you're going through a rough patch or when you're trying to transition and adapt to a new country, a new language, a new culture. You need people around you to do that. I'm sure other teams can offer that, but I just think that because of what we did with Gomes and how we've not rehabilitated, but Schneiderlin's been able to come through his rough patch, how well Digne and Bernard and Zuma fit in last season. I think there's some magic that goes on behind the scenes, that we really take care of our players and new players or loanees, or we bring them into the clubs with open arms. Don't put too much pressure on them. Let them know what the expectations are so they can meet them. And maybe Neres is the player that we're going to get. And I think that'd be a real statement to the league, to our fans, to the supporters, to the naysayers, of what our intent is for next season. And hopefully Paul Mercer can come out and offer one of his pissers and tell us how he broke the transfer record again, because last season 40 million for Richarlison, God, so expensive, so ruined the transfer market. Now look at him. Yeah, so there you go, Merce. That's for you, you gunner bastard. Anyways, so those are the ones that we're really close to. Well, not close to, but those are the ones that are really hot right now. We got the Santiago Sosa from River Plate, young player that we're looking at. Hold on, let's put Gomes back up here just for shits and giggles. Youth product, one for the future if we end up getting him. They're talking about 15 to 20 million euros right now. Apparently a defensive midfielder, but I'm sure he could play anywhere around in the around there, depending on how he would progress as a player. Other people, we're obviously looking for. I think Silva really wants a left-footed right winger, just to offer us something else, because we're playing the 4-3-3 that we really want to play. I think it's all going to depend on if we get a striker this season or in this off-season. Obviously, Dominic Calvert-Lewin came in leaps and bounds. Last year, great hold-up play, runs around the pitch, does what he's supposed to do. But again, it's the finishing, it's the clinical aspect, fox in the box type thing. But that can only come with time. But if we want to progress past the best of the rest and get into the top 6, which is the video I'll be doing, later this week, because I honestly think that Arsenal, Chelsea, and Manchester United are in serious trouble of dropping out of the top 6. So each club's got something different going on. Obviously, Chelsea. New manager, losing Eden Hazard, transfer ban looming possibly, because that's one team that we should be able to catch next season if we do what we're supposed to do and they end up with other hurdles to overcome. Arsenal, obviously, besides their front line, team's a bag of shit. I mean, they're the back line. You look at Urzo, you look at Xhaka, you look at some of their midfield players. No, and they haven't got that much money to spend over here, so they're going to have to do what we're going to have to do and try and get rid of a whole bunch of deadwood. But I just think that Emery's under a lot of pressure right now, and there's no real fast way to solve it. You can't be Man City and just throw black oil money at it to fix your problems. And I think that Manchester United, since Fergie left, obviously they've fallen off their perch. Only you wouldn't know that by listening to a lot of the supporters, but those that know that they've fallen well below what's expected of them. I think getting Ole in, I think that was the direction they're going in. That seems a little desperate because they want to have Solskjaer in there. They've got Carrick. Who was the other guy they've got? Well, they got Phelan, obviously. They've got McKenna on the bench. They've got they want to get a director of football possibly, or the a little committee that goes on. They have Rio. Patrice Evra's been mentioned. Fletcher's been mentioned. I guess they're trying to bring back that United winning mentality, or trying to bring in a bunch of people that want to take them back to the glory days of what it used to be under Fergie. But obviously, you've seen their transfers the past couple of seasons. I mean, Falcao, Di Maria, just Memphis Depay. They just haven't got it right, and I don't think they're going to get it right this season. They're probably just going to do what they usually do and just get players in that don't really want to come, a bunch of mercenaries. So yeah, for us, I think top 6 should be and is our goal next season. So we need to, come at it hard, and that starts with what we do in the transfer window, and that means just getting rid of a whole bunch of players and bringing in other players, ones that are going to slot in and will be first team players, or ones that can easily rotate in and out with what we're looking for. Obviously, Kurt Zuma's up in the air, so center backs is what we're kind of going to be eyeing. We've got Mina, yes, we've got Keane, but overall, I think we do need another option, because we can't be waiting on Zuma. It's just too much to do. So we've been linked with Christian Zapata from AC Milan, but he's 32. That just doesn't fit up with what we're trying to do. Juanpe from Girona, 28, just doesn't really fit in. The guy from Benfica, Thero, that's actually a character from Joe Abercrombie's The Blade Itself series. That's why it's funny to me. That's just one you won't get. And then a bunch of different ones, from mostly from Germany that we're looking at. Between the ages of 20 and 22, 23. Don't really want to look too much higher than that. Maybe if it's a temporary fix, I can easily see that happening, but it's not a high priority. Obviously, I think Mina and Keane will do well if Mason Holgate comes back, and Silva's going to have a look at him. He can play right back or center back. Most people see him as a center back in the future anyway, so having him come in, haven't given him a look, and that's something that we don't really need to have a big look at right now. Striker obviously is an issue. We have to get one in. Cenk, great player, for Turkey, for his other teams. He just doesn't fit with what Marco Silva's trying to do. I mean, bless the guy. I'm not saying he's like Umar, Prince Nias, but he's got that kind of... everyone loves him. He's always smiling. He's always working hard. He's always busting his ass to do it, but he just doesn't fit the style and the system. He's just not mobile enough to do what Dom does on that side of things. He might be a clinical finisher. He might be good in the box. Might be able to get his shots off. But, we need a mix of Cenk and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, really. So, you're looking at players... not too many of them out there. We get linked with bullshit like Danny Welbeck and Dzeko, and we don't need any old deadwood looking for a final payout. Sandro Ramirez, we did that 2 seasons ago. Archie the Wolf's going to go into the deadwood at some other point, but yeah. So strikers, what we're going to need. We've got Adolfo Geis from San Lorenzo, 20 years old. Do we really want him to do it? Other teams like Alan Saint Maximin. We're looking at him. Who else are we looking at? The other three person name. Oh yeah, the Jean-Kevin Augustin from Leipzig, 21. Really like him. Think he could be a good player. Lots of teams obviously in for him. 20 million, probably 25 to get him in. Depends on how if Brandon Silva can work their magic. We obviously get linked with, Shithawk, Mitrovic. Lots of people liking, they say he's 24, and look what he did against us when we lost 2-0 to Fulham. But I think he's just like another Cenk, really. I just don't think he fits into our system of what we're trying to do. You can't, you have Bernard on the left, Richarlison on the right, Siggy in behind, or if we get Neres in, if we got Malcolm in, which is another one I'd really like. This and all that, and then you've got Mitrovic up top. He just seems like something that we would have done a couple of seasons ago, and he's just, none of the other top 6 teams would take him, so that's about it. Other people have been mentioned with, Brendan Traore from Olympique Lyon. Right back situation, Seamus only got a couple of good years left in him. We're it has to be replaced, but not players like Thomas Mounier, unless that's just a temporary cover to see if Mason is up for the challenge. But so all these players, Wan-Bissaka has been mentioned, Reece James has been mentioned, like I said, Mounier has been mentioned. But I just really think priority has to be right now is striker, getting Gomes signed, a left-footed right winger, and if Ghana goes, getting somebody in for that. This has been very long. This has been very drawn out. Just a big smorgasbord of hodgepodginess for a video. It's a long one. That's transfer news and rumors for everything, because I obviously haven't done a video for a long time. So that's just all the people that we're been linked with, things that we need. But you've probably seen it all everywhere else. Don't forget to subscribe if you're seeing this for the first time. Please give me a thumbs up and a like. It helps with the algorithms and all that. But yeah, be back tomorrow. Archie the Wolf still hibernating after the winter, so we'll bring it out tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's video will probably be on keep and get rid, and that will involve Archie because got a couple of things to say. Alright guys, thank you.